Good afternoon, students. This is Mr. Holmes. Today we're going to be talking about volume of prisms. Okay. Before the break, we covered surface area of prisms. Surface area is the area of all the sides you can physically touch. Volume, however, is a different concept. It's measured in 3D, three dimensions, and it's how much space an object takes up. Or basically, if I poured water in something, how much could it hold? The formula to calculate the volume of a prism is volume equals the area of your base times the height of your prism, or volume equals B times H, where capital B is the area of your base, H is the height of the prism. So it was very important when I stressed what the shape of the base is, because if you know what the shape of the base is, all you have to do is find the area of that and then figure out, if I stand it on the base, how tall it is. So if you look right here, volume of a prism, the area of the base times the height. You must stand it on its base. Remember, for a triangular prism or a tent, the rectangular parts are the sides, not the base. So I have to stand it on my triangular part, and then how tall it is to go from one base to the other. For a box, it's a simple formula. You just take the length, the width, the height, you multiply all three together. And for a cube, it's just side times side times side, since everything's the same. So cube and box are easy to do. The other ones are you'll see in a minute. Okay, so let's go to our examples. And if you want, you can print out the sheet, you can work through it. Feel free to pause, go back. If you have any questions, just feel free to send me a message on Edsby. Okay, so there's two steps to calculate the volume of the prism. First thing, you draw the base shape, find the area, and then you determine the height of the prism. Then you multiply the two together. So the first thing in the first one, okay, this is a cube. Okay, all sides of the cube are the same. So when you have a cube or a box, just assume the bottom is your base when you have a box or cube. Technically, anyone could be the base, but we're going to let the bottom be the base. So what I do is I draw the base shape, which is a square. The area of the square is just 25 times 25. And if I do that on my calculator, 25 times 25, we get 625. Okay, the height is also 25. So to find the volume, I take the area of the base, which is 625, times the height, which is 25. And then multiplying those together, you get 15,625. And again, feel free to use your calculator to do the calculations. A cube's very simple. I'm just showing you the steps for any single one, because sometimes you have to work backwards. I know you can just do 25 times 25 times 25, but you'll see when we get to other examples, it will get a little more difficult. Okay, so the second one. Okay, notice this is not a cube. However, it is a box. We're going to let the bottom be the base. So for the base, it is a rectangle. The sides of the bottom are 5 and 6. So the area of the base is 5 times 6, which is 30. That's my area of the base. And the height is 8, how tall it is. It goes from here to here. So to get the volume, I do 30 times 8, which is 240. Okay, that's all you do for a box or a cube. Very simple. Okay, now we're going to look at ones where the base isn't a rectangle or square. So the third one, this is a triangular prism, a tent. This is a triangular prism. The base is a triangle. It is on its base right now. So the two things we need are the base shape and the height. Okay, since it's on its base, it's a triangle. To find the area of a triangle, remember it's 1/2 times base times height. That is the formula for area of a triangle. Okay, the base and height for any triangle are the sides connected by your right angle. So in this case, your right angle is with the 5 and 12 pieces. So those are your base and height. So I do 1/2 times 5 times 12. That gives you 30. The height is, if I stand it on its base, which it is, how tall is it? In this case, it's 5. Okay, so to get the volume, I take the area of the base, which is 30, times the height, which is 5, and you get 150. If you want to do units, you can. We're not going to focus too much on units, but the units, it would be meters cubed. Whenever you deal with volume, units is 3-dimension. You put a little exponent of 3 over your units. So in this case, meters cubed. It could be centimeters cubed. It could be anything cubed, but it's always meters cubed. If you don't like the units, just cover it out and just use 150. It doesn't mean take 150 and times it by itself 3 times. The cube just means it's 3-dimension. Okay. Example number 4. Okay. Again, this is a triangular prism. The base is a triangle. It is not on its base. It's on its side. So the base is this front part. The height connects your two bases, which will be 18. Notice there's a right angle right here, so I'm going to use 8 for the base, 4 for the height of the base. So the first thing we do is draw your base shape, which is a triangle. The formula for area of the triangle would be 1/2 times the base of the triangle, which is 8, times 4. If I do that, you get 16. The height is 18 for the prism. It connects your two bases. And then to get the volume, I just do 16 times 18. And if you do 16 times 18, you get 288. And that is your answer for that question. Okay, question number 5, or example 5. Okay, this is a weird looking shape. Okay, it is a prism. It is not on its base, because if it's on its base, you have to have two bases opposite and equal. Notice the bottom is not the same as the top. The base is actually the front, which is a trapezoid. This is a trapezoidal prism. So the base is a trapezoid. Okay, to find the area of a trapezoid, the formula is 1/2 times the height times your two bases added together. Okay, remember, your bases for a trapezoid are your two parallel sides. So in this case, I'm going to use 16. If this is 12, this is also 12, this front piece. And then the height of this trapezoid is 6, which is different than the height of the overall trapezoid. So remember, the height of the base is not the same as the height of the actual prism. Okay, they're two different things. So for the trapezoid, I do 1/2 times the height of the trapezoid, which is 6, times the two bases added together, 16 and 12. Okay, when I do this, it's just 1/2 times 6, which is 3. 3 times 28 gives you 84. You can use your calculator for that. The actual height of your prism is 25. Okay, and then to get the volume, I do 84 times 25, which gives me 84 times 25, 2100. Okay, and that's the volume of the trapezoidal prism. Okay, number 6 is slightly easier because this one is also a trapezoidal prism. It's on its base, whereas number 5 it was not. This one is on its base. So the height is clearly 10, and I just have to find the area of the base, the trapezoid. Okay, notice I do not have to use every single number. Some of the numbers are there to throw you off. So for my trapezoid, okay, the sides I need are the two parallel sides. So one side is 12, okay, and the tiny side right here is 6. So 12, 6 are my two bases. The the height of the trapezoid is 4. Okay, so the area of the trapezoid is 1/2 times the height, 4 times your two bases added together, 6 plus 12. When I do that, 1/2 times 4 is 2. 2 times 18 equals 36. That's the area of the base. The height of the prism is 10, because if I stand it on its base, which it is, it connects your two. And then to get the volume, you just do 36 times 10, which equals 360. Okay, this concludes the front part of the side. Notice this is my first video, so again, with time I will get better. I will do the back side on the other page, not to overload everything in one single video. Again, any questions, concerns on the front side, you can always send me a message on Edsby. Okay, part 2 will be the next part.